What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Kicking It with Kia B. Tonight on this video we will be having another cooking show with Cooking with them Bagsby's. So we're gonna go ahead and get into what it is that we're cooking. I got my little camera girl on the other end, but I'm gonna go ahead and take over and show y'all what we got going on. So we will be making stuffed pasta shells tonight. Sounds poppin', huh? So as you can see, I already got my ground beef on. I had to take it off because my eye was a little bit too high. As you see, this eye don't play. I got my water boiling already. So the ingredients is going to be the Rosoni jumbo shells. We have Prego, garlic salt, black pepper, Lowry seasoning salt. And here we have Hillshire smoked beef sausage. So all of that is going to be stuffed inside the shells. These are my ingredients. I'm going to go ahead and cook up this ground beef. Once my ground beef is cooked, I'm going to throw in my sausages. We're going to get those pasta shells into that water. And then when we come back, I'm going to show you how we stuff them. And then we're going to get them in this big old pan right here and get them in that oven with some cheese. Be right back. So as you can see, I got my pasta and I got both boxes of pasta inside of the water. They're boiling away. Got the ground beef going, and I did season the ground beef with the garlic salt, black pepper, and seasoning salt. I did only put a little. I never measure. I just kind of eyeball it. But you don't want to put too much because the smoked sausages already have salt in them, and then we're going to add cheese as well. So what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and add the smoked sausages in so that we can get these nice and cooked as well. I've got my oven already preheated to 400. Y'all, I think I cook everything on 400. I know that that's probably not cool, but really you're not cooking anything. What you're basically doing is just kind of like combining everything together, like making the cheese melt and all of that. Let me give my pasta a little stir. And also, you don't want these pastas to be like super duper duper soft. You want them al dente. And the reason for that is because they're still going to go in the oven, so they are going to still cook. But I am going to shock them because I don't want them to be still cooking when I'm trying to stuff them. So, but you just want those to be al dente so that you can finish them off inside of the oven. So I'm just going to wait for these to continue to finish doing their thing. And then I'm going to get my assembly line set up so that we can go ahead and get these pasta shells stuffed and get them in that oven and eat. Be right back. All right, y'all. So I'm back and I have my assembly line set up. Every time I'm cooking, I always lose my sidekick. Like, this is just foolishness. So I'm going to try to do this the best that I can. As y'all know, I need to get a stand so that I can video and use both my hands without having to depend on people. This is called Cooking with them Bagsby's, and I'm always the only present Bagsby. They always off doing some more other stuff, and I be having to threaten her to come in here just to help. But anywho, I'm still a Bagsby, so we gonna get it done. So I have gotten my pasta shells out of the water, and I blanched them with some cold. Just ran some cold water and just kind of did the pasta like this. Let me just explain something. If you do this, you see how those pastas are folded? Sometimes there's still hot water caught in between there, so be very, very careful. I have my cheese here, which this is what's left over of what I have, but I have a whole new bag in the refrigerator that I will be utilizing. So this is the cheddar jack cheese, and it's shredded mild cheddar and Monterey Jack cheese mixed together. And then here is my ground beef and my sausages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my Prego, and I'm going to put some of it in the bottom of the pan, and then I'm going to season that with just a little bit of the garlic salt, pepper, and seasoning salt, because you know Prego sometimes just have like a bland tomato taste, and I like mine to have an actual taste to it. So I'm just going to put a little bit in there and then season it, and then we will get to rolling, or stuffing I should say. Okay, so now I've went ahead and put a little bit of it, the Prego, in the bottom of the pan. And now I'm just going to start seasoning it before moving it around. So we got a little bit of pepper. There's a couple shakes. Then we have, excuse me, pepper. And then we have a little bit of Lawry's seasoning salt. I'm just going to kind of eyeball that. And then a little bit of garlic salt. Now, y'all always see that these is like the main seasonings that I use on everything that on my cooking shows, because this is pretty much all I ever use, unless I use like some fresh vegetables or something. Like, you know, bell peppers and all of that stuff. So now I'm just going to kind of mix it in and smooth it around the bottom of the pan, because this is going to be the bed for our pasta shells to sit on. And I'm using a plastic spoon because it's easier to just use and throw away. Okay, so now we got that. So I'm going to go ahead and get set up so that you guys can see how I stuff the shells. And then we're going to get this ball rolling. So I'll be right. Okay, so this is my little setup right here. Actually, let me move back just a little bit. Okay, so this is my setup right here. So I have the cheese, I have the meat, and then I have the pan right here. So let me wash my hands. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab a pasta shell that is not jacked. So some of the pasta shells, when you grab them, you're gonna notice that they're ugly. So if they not quite rolling, then we gonna just discard these. What I'm gonna do too is put a little bit more water on my pasta shells, just to kind of waken them up a little bit. Because, you know, from sitting, they will dry out a little bit. So, okay. Okay, so we got that done. So now I'm going to find a pasta shell that actually look like it can do something. Okay, so here's one. So you see how it's rolled? So we're going to open it up like so. So like it's like a mouth. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little bit of the cheese and put that in the bottom. Okay? And now I'm going to take a little bit of my meat stuffing and I'm going to just put that in the inside of that. And you want to make sure that you have meat in. So now you see it's stuffed, the meat and everything in it. And so now we're just going to kind of close it back up and we're just going to lay it right down in the pan. Okay, so let's do another one. Let's find a shell that's a good shell. Okay, this was good enough. Open it up. And be very delicate because they will break on you. Like this one is trying to rip. That's why another reason why you want them to be kind of al dente, because you don't want them to be too soft. Okay, so that's another one. Okay, let's grab. And sometimes they be wanting to be friends and they come like that's a twin. So, you know, food has twins also. So I'm just gonna sit this one right here because we can use it. So here's another one. A little bit of cheese in there. And we are going to put more sauce and more cheese on top of these once everybody is filled and in here. Okay, so now you don't want to overstuff them because they're not going to close all the way, but you want them to at least close a little bit to where the stuffing stays inside. So yeah, so this is the routine right here. And it's going to be so good because we're going to put some sauce. We're just going to pour sauce right on top of them. And then we just going to layer that with cheese. It's going to be so popping. See, y'all, I don't need my sidekick, right? Look, the paper towels is all in the view. Let's move that out the way. Would that give y'all an even better view? On to the next. So in this pan, I could get 4 across. So let's see how many rows I can get in here. A little cheese, meat, bam. Here goes some more twins, y'all. Cheese, meat. Put them down. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and finish stuffing these. And then I will come back and show you what steps I do next. So I'll be right back. Okay, so, oh wow, why is that blurry? Focus, please. There we go. So I have finished this pan, but I still have a bunch of meat left over, and I still have some pasta shells left over. So what I'm going to do is probably start another pan, but I only have one thing of Prego, so I need to see how this is going to work out. So at this point, this is what they're looking like in the pan. So now I'm going to pour the Prego over the top of them. Now you don't want to do too much because we are going to cover this with cheese as well. But you know, you do want them to be kind of saucy. Okay, so and then I'm just gonna grab a little bit more of my seasoning salt and just kind of, then I'm gonna take the plastic spoon and kind of just let everybody get a little bit coated. And once you do this, then you can determine if you want some more sauce on them, and I do. Hey, and I do. So let's do a little bit more on the parts that don't look like they cut them. So just kind of move it around. Okay, so this one's done. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to finish this little pan off, and then I will come back and put the cheese on and cover them and put them in the oven and let y'all see what it looks like once I put the cheese on. Then when I come back, I will be coming back to show y'all the finished product. All right, y'all, so I got my second pan done. First pan, second pan. And what I did was I had a little bit of the meat mixture left over. So I just kind of went ahead and just sprinkled that on top and have my new bag of cheese. And now we are just going to go ahead and start adding our cheese. So just going to grab a handful of that without trying to make a mess. And my hands are clean. Just wash them. Uh-oh, I dropped some cheese on the floor. And depending on how much cheese you like, do your thing. I like cheese, so. And I like for every part of my food, if it causes for cheese, to have cheese on it. Okay, so just a little bit more for this one. And then we're gonna move on to the next. And so what I'm gonna do is I am going to cover these with foil. And then put them in the oven. And I'm gonna leave them in there for about 30 minutes. That's gonna give everything time to just become friends and love on each other, and you know. Okay, so ooh, that looks good already. So I am going to go ahead and foil these, put them in the oven for 30 minutes, and then I will let y'all see what it looks like when it comes out. All right, party people, it has been about 40 minutes. So I am going to go ahead and get this out the oven so we can take a look and see what we got going here. Let's see. Ooh, it's hot. Ooh, y'all hear that? You see it bubbling? It's gonna be good. Okay, so let me just get the little one first because I only got one hand right now. Okay. So let's see. The great reveal. Ooh, that's hot. Y'all see that steam coming out? Hot, 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 hot. Dang, look y'all. Look at that. Don't that look so good? Don't that look so poppin'? Oh my gosh. Nice and bubbly. Yes. Okay, I'm not gonna eat it right now because it's hot, but can you turn the water off? I'm gonna make a plate in a minute. But I just wanna pull one of these shells up so we can see what it's gonna look like. Pulling it. Oh, this one opening. We don't want you to open, boo-boo. Let's get one that's cheesier. Okay. Ooh, look. Okay, yeah, I'm going to break them up. So, I don't want to break them up, so let me stop messing with them. Let's see. They all got cheese on top of them. They're nice and tender. Okay, so let's put that right there. Gonna put this back on top to keep it nice and hot. But that is the finished product of my stuffed pasta shells. The little pan at least. This is the big pan. Can I get this one out? Ooh, yeah, it's heavy though. Oh Lord, I shouldn't have did that. I got a messed up finger. Okay, let's see what this one. I just want y'all to see what this one looks like too. Let's unveil. Ooh, ooh, wee. All right, y'all. That's it. Those are my stuffed pasta shells. Thank you guys so much for watching my channel. If you are new to this channel, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe and please share Cooking with them Bagsby's stuffed pasta shell edition. Thank you guys for all of your love and support. And I will have pictures at the end of my plated pasta shells. So with that being said, good night, everyone. God bless you. And I'll see you in the next video.